Okay, so throughout our time together, please take care of your body, honor whatever is going on for you today. If you have any props to use, any makeshift props, please bring those to help you out as well. And yes, listen to your body, adapt your flow based on how you're feeling this morning, and we'll go from there. So we're going to begin in a seated position. Feel free to take a cross-legged seat, a seat on a chair, or you can also use this lovely little diamond pose with some additional prop back behind you in between the ankles. It's like a little bench that's created for the lower body. And from there, settle into a place of comfort, make any little fidgets, movements, adjustments. Open through your mouth, your jaw. And from there, invite your eyelids to become a little bit heavier here. You can close them fully, or note that you always have the option to leave a little bit of light streaming into the eyes. That feels more supportive. And as you welcome yourself into this time, this space of practice, of exploration and movement and breath in mind and heart, opportunity to begin by simply being and noticing what's present for you today. And from there, gradually begin to deepen through your breath. And taking a more full, awake, expansive breath, inhaling through your nose or your mouth if you're congested. Invite this to be a full diaphragmatic breath, allowing the whole body to begin to awaken here. Envision the space from your hips to the neck area becoming this little cylinder that is moving with the breath, full and wide. With every inhalation, air flows into the lungs, creating expansion. And with the exhalation, allowing the cylinder to soften and relax. And continuing this focus on breath, with your next inhaling breath, take your time, trace both of your palms in front of your belly. On the inhalation, raise the arms up, open them a little bit like a fan. And with the exhalation, lower the palms back down, tracing. Inhale to lift, trace, and open. Exhale to lower all the way down. A few more rounds, moving at your own speed, your own rhythm, setting the breath into coordinated motion. And final cycle here with your own speed when the palms lift upwards. This time on the exhale, take the hands together in front of your heart or come into any other gesture that feels right for you here. Taking an opportunity to set intention, focus, direction, purpose for your time here this morning. It could be as simple as a quality that you want to call in, like clarity or ease, groundedness, connection, perspective, healing, openness, creativity, ease. What is it that you could use more of in your life, on the mat, off the mat, today? To affirm this, each other's company here in the space, gently fold head to heart center. And gradually release your hands by the side of your space. Create a few gentle shoulder rolls, looping the shoulders up, back down. Stay with a conscious, mindful breath. Next cycle with your shoulders resting onto your back body. Slowly shift the weight of your body forward from your seat. If you're in a cross-legged seat, uncross the legs and adjust yourself into a tabletop position. Feel free to use the support of an additional prop here, especially if your knees are a little bit more sensitive. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to float your right leg back behind you. Press your toes back, create a little bit of space for the underside of your knees. If your wrists are tender, come into fists here. Know that you can always use the supportive props, like the blocks. One more inhale. Exhale to lower your knee down. Inhale to stretch your left leg back behind you. Point your toes back, create elongation. Any other movements are welcome here with your ankle as well, toes. One more in breath. With the exhalation this time, take your time, gradually step your left foot through in between of your hands. This is where the props can come handy again. Curl your back toes under. Inhale to lift your back knee just a little bit and gradually take as many steps as you need to the front edge of your mat. Deep bend in the knees, moving downwards. On inhale, root down, lift all the way up to standing. Circle your arms to the sky. If you feel dizzy, please look down to the earth. Exhale, lower your hands down by the side of your body here. With the feet hip distance apart, root down. In breath to open your arms wide, right to left. On exhalation, draw the hands in together. Bend your knees a little bit. Bend your elbows round into a little cat stretch. Inhale to open, expand, lift up and out of your waist. Mid and upper back elongate, cow stretch. Exhale again, palms touch first, then the elbows bring in towards center. Round with the mid and upper back. Inhale to open, expand. Exhale to draw in. In breath to open. Final cycle here. Both explorations, your own rhythm and speed. With exhale, this time return low back to neutral. Lower your arms by the side of your space. Inhale to sweep, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, lean over to the right side, one hand to hip. Opposite arm up and over. Inhale through center, stay with the same side. Exhale, arc over to the right. Inhale through middle. Exhale to explore here. It doesn't have to be super deep to get the effect. Inhale through center, exhale opposite side, left hand to hip, top arm up and over. Take note even here if you feel more openness on one side compared to the other. Final cycle here, your own range in the arc. Inhale to lift back up through center, both arms to the sky. Exhale, lower your arms down. 3 cycles, roll your shoulders up, back, down. And final round, shoulders onto your back body. Inhale again, open your arms right to left, T position. With the exhalation, bend your knees, shift the weight back behind a little bit, lower the arms. Inhale, lift the arms to the horizon. Exhale, sink a little bit more, totally fine for the knees to come forward here. Big part of this is to ensure once you sink into your squat that your low back feels like it's in a neutral place. You can always scoop the tail a little bit more here. Little pulsing motion to create some heat and fire through your legs. A few more cycles. Inhale, this time straighten the legs. Exhale, release the arms by the side of your body. Step your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Start to lift one heel off the ground at a time. Swing your torso and arms side to side. Check in with your mental attention. If your focus has drifted, opportunity to come back to this moment, to your breath, to your movement. Begin to slow down this movement of twist, returning back to a place of pause at center. Feet back to hip distance apart. Inhale again, open your arms, T position wide. Exhale, bend your knees, shift the weight back behind, lower your arms down. Inhale, arms float to the horizon. With the exhalation back, sink a little bit more deeply. Same motion here, inhale. This time as you do these movements, start to add some circles for your wrists. Continuing to move in this gentle pulse chair pose. Final cycle, the sink. Inhale to sweep, rise up to standing arm circle. Exhale, optional mouth open, sound sigh. Let it go. From your standing place, find a gaze point to help you out for a little bit of balance here. Root down into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Start to lift, heels rise off of the earth. Exhale to sink back down. Inhale to lift, heels rise, little balance. Exhale to lower. Continue this movement on your own. Opportunity to stay in this breath and movement exploration, or if you're craving just a little bit more balance, challenge, heat, next time you rise up, pause and sustain this. There's a little bit of fluctuation in your lower legs. This is normal. Feel free to take your gaze to center or even to the sky to add a bit of challenge to your balance. Your choice here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep breath first. Exhale, lower your heels down, lower your arms. Inhale to open arms, T position once more. Exhale, sink into your legs. Bend your knees, shift the weight a little back. Knees can come forward, ensuring the low back is stable. Keep the arms open this time. Pause and sustain. Deep, connected, full breath, full and wide through the cylindrical center of your body. Inhale to lift back up through center, arm sweep. Exhale, take the arms wide, lower down, optional sound sigh. Release. And from this space, ensure that there is no prop behind you, the center or back edge of your mat. And come up to the front edge of your space, feet hip distance apart. Inhale to sweep, arms lift up to the sky. With exhalation, lower your hands onto your hips. Root down to the earth. In breath, elongate from the ground to the sky. Exhale, gradually step your right foot back behind you. Little bend in the back knee to begin. Sink into your front thigh. Find neutrality through the low back. Legs super active. Notice the activation of the muscles low down all the way up to the glutes and hips, keeping this stability. Feel free to elongate the back leg, especially if your low back can stay at neutral. Inhale, option to layer arms, lift to the sky, wide V, or any angle here to support shoulders. Crescent lunge pose. Staying with your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, lean your torso forward 45 degrees, both hands rest at the front of your thigh. Elongation to the sides of your neck, connected breath. Inhale to rise, torso back up through center, arms lift. With exhalation, turn your back foot down, heel lands, open the arms, warrior two stance. Take a moment to make adjustments here. Back foot can be out further to the right side of your space, especially if the hip is not happy here. Your choice how much you sink into your front leg, inner legs super strong. The glutes still awake. Arms to T position. And notice that your torso can turn a little bit if your hip is out. So we're not looking for a flush angle here. Engagement and comfort, the key. Option for gaze out in front, warrior two stance. Inhale here, straighten through your front leg. With your exhalation, turn both of your toes out. Might need to adjust your back foot a little bit if it's gone a little bit forward. Toes at around 45 angle. Inhale to sweep, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, sink into your legs, wider squat. Inhale again, lift arms up. Exhale to sink. This time as you sink, pause and sustain your own degree. Inner legs firing as if you were hugging a big beach ball. Any little movements to begin. Check in with your low back. If it's overly arched, create some balance. Squeeze through the glutes. Inhale, arms rise. With the exhale, bend your elbows, palms face for cactus, circle, post arms. Deep, concentrated breath. Inhalation, root down, rise back up through standing legs straight. Exhale, release your hands onto your hips. Take a moment, adjust your feet. Left foot comes forward, right foot back once more, honoring your angles. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, sink back into warrior two legs. Another deep breath. With exhalation, take your left hand to your belly. Right arm comes up and over. It's a very slight lean over to the left side. Variation on lateral angle pose, especially if the top arm is not happy, take it to the back of your head. Fire through your inner legs. Soften through facial muscles. Inhale to shift back through center, both hands at your hips. With exhalation, find a supportive way, a few steps, 1, 2, 3, your choice, to the front edge of your mat. From here, bring the hands into the low back area, root into your feet, activate through the upper legs. Inhale to lift up and out of your waist. Begin to lean slightly back from the mid and upper back. Chin can tip to the sky just a bit if the neck feels spacious at ease. Gentle baby back bend. Inhale to return back through center. Exhale, neutral spine, release your hands for a moment here. In breath to circle, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, hands come onto your hips. Inhale to root down. Exhale, left foot steps back behind you. Take your time to set up. Back bend, back knee in a little bend, sink into your front thigh. Neutrality in the low spine. Make any adjustments here as you settle in. Side body full of length. Option to raise the arms for more shoulder heat. And take notice as you explore this posture where you're at. This opportunity in the practice of yoga to work physically, but also to build relationship to breath, and then also to mind and emotions. What are you aware of? Especially if you find that your focus is somewhere else, it's a great opportunity to strengthen the mindfulness muscle and bring your attention back to this moment. Inhale here. Exhale to spin your back foot down 45 degrees, or the foot can even be turned more inwards. Option to take your foot out wider to the wide edge of your space. Sink into your front leg, your own degree, inner leg strong, glutes engaged, low back at a neutral space for your own body. If your arms are becoming overly heated, know you can always release them for a moment, then back up, or release them for the whole duration of the pose. Deep breaths. Inhale to straighten through your front leg with your exhalation. Spin your toes, hands to your hips. Adjust your back foot as needed here. Toes 45 degrees or so. Actually take a little bit of a wider or a closer stance with your feet. Inhale to sweep arms, rise skyward. Exhale, bend into your legs. Sink down, pause. Stay right here, or for a little bit more in fire, in breath to lift your left heel off of the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale, right heel off the ground. Exhale to lower. Next layer, with the inhale, both heels rise off of the ground. And check in, totally fine again for the knees to come forward of the ankle line. Do keep your low back at neutral, ribs soften, connected breath. Stay there, or layer the arms. One more in breath. Exhale to lower your heels down if they're lifted, sink a little bit. Inhale, rise, arms to the sky, legs straighten, optional mouth open, sound sigh. Let it go. Inhale, arms lift back up to the sky. Exhale, hands return to your hips. Adjust your right foot to face forward, left hip at its angle of support. And gradually, with an exhalation, your own rhythm, sink back. Warrior two, legs. In breath, the arms rise. Exhale, right hand to your belly, torso, top arm, either straight up and over, or to the back of your head. Very slight lean So it's not a deep lateral angle lean here. Focusing more on the lower body, slight stretch at the left side. Notice if you're clenching through your toes, invite them to spread, be at ease, even as you stay anchored to the supportive base of the soles of your feet. Inhale back, up through middle, both hands to hips. With your exhale, take your time as long as you need to journey to the front edge of your space. Again, hands to the low back, feet rooted, inner leg strong, and breath to lift up and out of your waist. Lean just a little bit back, more from the mid and upper spine. Sense what you notice here in the extension of your spinal column here, length, and yet also strength present. Inhale to return back through middle. Exhale, lower your arms by the side of your body. Find another gaze point here to support you down on the earth. With the feet hip distance or so. Shift the weight into your right leg. Hands come to hips. Right leg anchored and strong. Inhale to lift either your left foot into a little tap dance. It can lift and then come back to stabilize you if the balance is more challenging, or lift to hover. Knee towards hip height. Stable here. Standing leg is your strong foundation. Stay right there, or layer on, arms extend out to the side, elbows in a bend, wrists in a bend, standing crane pose. Utilize the breath. If you want more balance challenge, take the gaze to center or to sky. Play. If you fall out, no big deal. One more inhale. Exhale, lower your foot down to the earth. Pause. Honor sensation here. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up to the sky. Palms touch this time. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. As you do this, bend your knees. Take sitting bones back, then knees come forward, hips come forward, spine extend, gaze looks up. So take a few moments to play with this little undulation, like a wave that's rushing from the feet all the way upwards. Let it be a little integrative movement. Customize it to your own body. Final cycle here. Once you're in the little extension, pause, return low back to neutral, hands to hips, gaze stable, root into your left foot. Activate as if you were putting a long john or a huge sock on to fire up through the muscles. From there, shift the weight and start to play right foot, either tap dances or floats. And take any other posture option here. Add the arms, gaze variations. Acknowledge that this side of your body might be completely different, might need something different. Acknowledging any turbulence in the lower leg muscles. Breathing into any unnecessary tension. A few more cycles here to sustain and be with. Exhale, slowly release your foot back down to the earth. Inhale, circle the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands touch down into heart center. And this time around, see if you can reverse the undulating motion we did before. So sometimes the brain needs a few moments to kick this one into gear. Little wave-like undulation in reverse. Final cycle here, returning back to a place at center. Stabilize yourself with the feet hip distance apart, strong lower and upper legs, neutral spine, elongate from hips all the way to top of head. Relax through your eyes. Take a moment here to pause at this juncture of the practice, paying attention to what's present for you in this moment. Opportunity to reconnect to your intention, your focus here for your time in practice. And gradually release your arms by the side of your body. Come up to the front edge of your space. Inhale to circle sweep your arms up to the sky. With exhalation, bend your knees deeply, then begin to hinge forward. So there's not a lot of impact on the low spine here as you fold either hands to earth or props. Gradually step one foot back behind, one knee down, then opposite foot and knee back behind, returning tabletop position. If you have a prop handy, use it for the knees. So they have a bit more cushion here. Tabletop, inhale to float your right leg back behind you. Hip height, stabilize here. Again, check in if the right wrist is taking on a lot of weight, bring it into a fist or use a prop. Option to stay right there, or with the inhalation, sweep your left arm out in front, then bend your elbow, back of the hand to the back of your head for a little bit of core activation. Active inhale, soften through facial muscles. Exhale, release hand and knee down to earth. Inhale, float, left leg back behind. Stabilize your leg. Activate through your left fingertips. Inhale, right arm, either floating out in front or bend at your elbow, palm to the back of your head. Listening to your own body here, what is needed to support your experience. Pay attention to the abdominals, so the whole core, not just the front of the body, but also sides and back. Active, stabilizing. One more in breath. Exhale to lower hand and knee down to the earth. From there, once again, if the prop is there, move it out to the side. Re-engage with your tabletop position. Fire up. And gradually, with the toes curled this time, lift one knee off the ground. Option for the next knee, high plank pose. And right away here, this can be a tap dance, lowering knees, then a little lift, lower and lift, or pause and stabilize here. Whole body in a long line of energy. Neutral low spine, glute squeezing. Mid and upper back can dome just a bit to the sky. Notice what that does to your abdominals. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower your knees down with intention. Uncurl your toes. Let your elbows bend out way to the right and left, supporting this lowering down with strength. Adjust your legs hip distance apart. Draw your palms back behind you. Palms down by the side of the body. It could be also 35 degrees if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. From this space, take your left hand to out in front in a long line. Actually, do it a little differently. Take your left palm to the back of your head like we did in the table. And from there, inhale, lift your right leg just a little bit off the earth, so it's less height here. You'll still get lots of activation with less height. Keeping this, squeeze through your glutes. Now inhale to lift the torso and head just a bit off the earth, then focus on length. This can also be done by lowering and lifting with your breath. Otherwise, sustain here. If there's any crunch on your lumbar spine, please back off the height. One more inhale. Exhale to lower back down. Left arm back behind. Take your right hand to the back of your head. Inhale to lift. Left leg just a bit off the earth. Squeeze through your glute here on this side. In breath, layer to add little lift of the torso. Head presses into the palm. Stay with breathing. Exhale to lower down to the earth. Both arms rest back behind you. Take a moment to notice the contrast as you soften muscle tissue. How do you feel? And from there, reawaken. Tops of the feet click down to invite the muscles to re-engage. Squeeze through glutes, low back neutral. Press your palms into the earth this time. Inhale to lift legs and torso just a bit. Remember, less height here. It's all about what's happening in your lumbar. Option to stay right there or float your palms up. Keep your gaze looking downwards, lots of length in the neck. What are you aware of here? One more deep breath. Exhale to lower back down to the earth. Either keep your chin there and head, mouth at neutral, or you can always turn the head to one side if that feels more comfortable. And from this space, you can always remain in that last posture, the locust pose, or exploring the next layer here, bend through your knees, feet angle to the sky, palms face down again to the earth. And gradually, inner legs hug strong as if you were hugging a block here, just a hip distance apart. Squeeze through your glutes. And with the in-breath, press into your palms, start to lift. The tops of the feet lift to the sky, so quads might rise just a little bit off the mat as the torso lifts as well. Again, same idea, focus on length here. Keep the legs strong. Variation on bow posture. Can always go up and down with this or sustain your choice. Stabilizing here for another few cycles. Exhale to lengthen your legs, lower back down. Head to opposite side if you are turning your head. Notice the after effect here. And gradually, both hands return to the side of your ribs, shoulders. Curl your toes under. In breath, lift yourself back up. Tabletop position. Readjust any knee prop support. And with the inhalation from your torso, expand, open, collarbones broad. Exhalation, round through the mid and upper back. Few gentle integrative movements, cat and cow. Final cycle here to round the upper spine. With the next breath cycle, return your low back to neutral space. Find a comfortable way to release onto one hip, then swing your legs out in front. And with the hands back behind you, feet come a little bit wider. If you're using a mat, towards the width mat, you can always adjust for comfort here. Start to windmill the knees side to side. So if your hips are a little bit tighter, sometimes bringing the feet closer in will create less intensity. And the other way around, if the hips are more open, find more space between your feet, see how that feels. Next breath with your knees passing through center, pause. Find a supportive, comfortable seat for you. Feel free to use props to help yourself uplift your spine. With your in-breath, sweep the arms up to the sky. With exhalation, start to spin your ribs open to the right side. Very gentle rotation, one hand to knee, one hand back behind. Inhale to lift. With the exhalation, invite softness. So a little goes a long way here. The spine doesn't need to rotate a ton in its actual natural range of motion. Actually, especially the low back doesn't rotate super much. So know that you're getting benefit here, even if it doesn't feel like you're pushing yourself. In breath to sweep the arms back to center, torso rotates. Exhale, open the twist, opposite side. Lumbar staying pretty stable, more of the movement in the upper mid part of your spinal column. Respecting the neck, the head here. So opportunity here as we take the heat level down of the practice to notice again what's happening with the mental experience. If your mind is beginning to go to other parts of your life, your day, opportunity to kindly invite it back. Still staying with this moment, this time. In breath to circle your torso, arms lift, returning to center. Exhale, lower your arms down. From here, stretch your legs out in front. Make sure you have any and all props, layers that you need within arm's reach here. If you're already getting chillier, feel free to put a layer on here before you get onto the earth. And with inhalation, root down into the support of the ground. If low back is tender, bend your knees for this transition. Strong core, slowly release all the way down onto the earth. Knees draw in, create a few gentle circles here on your sacrum, low back. One direction, knees stir. Reverse them in the opposite direction. From there, pause, lower both of your feet down to the earth. And take your right ankle to your left thigh right below the knee, creating a figure four. This can be plenty of stretch for many people. Stay right here. If you need a little more, feel free to lift. Left foot off of the ground. Next layer, right hand comes to the window opening. Left hand meets to wrap behind the left hamstring. And also know that although this is sometimes called figure four, it can very much look like a figure seven, anywhere between a 7 and a 4 with the right knee. So the knee does not have to be flush at 90 degrees. And pay attention, what are you feeling, especially at the back of the right leg into the glute area. Can make any micro movements, little rocks. Staying with the breath. One more inhalation. With exhale, slowly release, both feet come to the earth. And take time, left ankle to your right thigh below your knee. Check in, what does this side of your body need? Exploring the posture options, the angle of the left knee. Finding a sweet spot where you're enjoying the sensation and still able to breathe, body getting the benefit, not only physically, but also physiologically on the nervous system level. And check in with any unnecessary tension in your mouth, your jaw. One more breath in. Exhalation to gently release, feet land onto the earth, feet hip distance apart. If you have a block or a block prop nearby, grab it, root into your feet, shoulders, inhale. With the strength of the lower body, lift your hips and pelvis off the earth, slide your block first or second height under sacrum, little triangular bony point under the low spine. And rest here in supported bridge pose. Also sustain a more active bridge pose. Do release at your own time if you're in the active bridge. If you're using a supported prop, stay right there, or option to amplify your inversion by lifting one leg, then the other to the sky. Knees can be as bent as needed for hamstrings. Supported shoulder stand. If your legs are elevated, take one more deep breath. Exhaling breath to release your feet back down to the ground. Re-energize here through the legs, glutes. Inhale to lift off of your prop. Exhale, slide it to the side, lower back down to the ground. From this space, begin to move towards the final resting posture. Your choice here, depending on what's happening in your body. Legs can extend long. If you have a prop under the knees, that can also support any low back discomfort. Keeping the knees bent is also an option. One knee can rest to the side of the other. And finally, know that you can always come into a fetal position, placing a prop in between your knees or something for the head, like a little pillow or rolled blanket. Most important thing is to find comfort for yourself here, making any adjustments that you need. Layers, covering the eyes if that feels safe and nurturing. Once you have settled into your space, take in one final deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Give yourself this time to simply be, to rest, to receive, letting go of any remaining tension through feet and legs. And soften through abdominal muscles, ribs, shoulders, and neck at ease. And soften any tension through your cheekbones and eyelids, forehead, and back of the head. Whole body held here. Know that I'll be back in a few minutes to guide you back out. And very gradually become more conscious and aware of your body as you rest. Know that if you have the time and want to take a little bit more of it here in relaxation, you can stay as you are. Otherwise, welcoming a soft breath back in and beginning to awaken through little motions of fingers, toes, ankles, wrists, head, and neck. And taking any other movement, stretch of the arms overhead or opening of the mouth, jaw. And if you are moving out of rest, knees hug to center, gently roll to either right or left side in a fetal pose. And from that gesture of kindness and care, find a supportive way. Feel free to use a hand, arm to help you out as you lift back up. Returning to a supportive seat, use any props here to uplift your spinal column. Eyes relaxed, soft. And as you settle into your seat, draw palms together in front of your heart space or take any other gesture here that feels right for you. Bring back your intention for the practice and take notice of anything that has shifted or moved for you through your time of inquiry with breath, with body, with mind and heart. Into your own focused determination, care, and each other's company, gently bow head to heart space. Acknowledging and celebrating your wisdom and your strengths. Namaste.